So, UFC 285 in March will see the much anticipated return and the heavyweight debut of one of the greatest of all time in a lot of people's opinions, and that is Jon Jones. So, Jon Jones will be fighting for the heavyweight title, vacant heavyweight title since Francis Ngannou was stripped. I'm not going to really touch on that, that's a different thing. But Jon Jones will be facing Cyril Gane for the vacant title, and man, I feel like this fight is a lot more complicated than people are making it out to be. I feel like it's a much harder fight to predict than people are really kind of saying, and from what I've seen from fans and other predictors on YouTube and Instagram, you know what I mean? I feel like people are really underestimating Cyril Gane and maybe overestimating Jon Jones. I feel as though I haven't seen a lot of people picking Cyril Gane, and I understand the reasons for not picking Cyril Gane. I really do. I think people see that Francis Ngannou was able to use wrestling against Cyril Gane, and they think, well, if Francis Ngannou can, Jon Jones can. And I understand that reasoning, but at the same time, I think it's very flawed, because you've got a guy like Francis Ngannou who's huge, massively strong, and the reason he was able to hold down Cyril Gane wasn't really a technique thing. It was more of a strength size kind of thing. And I really feel as though Jon Jones, we don't know if he's going to have that kind of strength at heavyweight. But just other than that, just to say it now, I'm going to pick Cyril Gane. I think Cyril Gane will win. It's kind of a fight I am 50-50 on. I can see Jon Jones winning. It kind of all depends on the shape he comes in, and if how he's been training. You know what I mean? But I'm picking Cyril Gane for the reason that we have not seen Jon Jones fight in almost 3 years. Like, think about that. The last time we saw him fight was against Dominic Reyes, right? Which was, I think, in 2020. You know what I mean? It was a while ago. He has not fought since then. And ultimately, that was not a good performance. February 2020. So by the time that we actually see him fight, and maybe even by now, I don't know what date it was, but it's been 3 years since he's fought. It's been 3 years. And he's been inactive on the sidelines for that whole time. And frankly, he didn't look good against Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of people, I don't even really think it's opinion, Dominic Reyes should have won that fight against Jon Jones. He won the first 3 rounds pretty clearly. Go rewatch the fight. I know there'll be people who disagree with this in the comments and say, Jon Jones won. It wasn't a robbery, it was a close fight, but Reyes won, you know what I mean? Watch the fight again. He won the first 3 rounds clearly. And the stats show that, and the fight shows that. I know people say stats don't show the fight all the time, which is true, but Jon Jones didn't hurt him. Reyes landed the better strikes for the first 3 rounds, avoided takedowns, landed more, landed heavier. He just won the first 3, and this, to be the champion, you got to beat the champion crap, where people think, oh, well, you've got to really stamp it in the championship rounds. It's crap, it's stupid. If you beat him, you beat him, and Reyes should have beat Jon Jones 3 rounds to 2, and it's just a bit insane to me that people don't see that. But this is my point. Jon Jones has not only been out for 3 years, but has looked very lackluster in his last few performances. Should have lost to Dominic Reyes. Split decision to Thiago Santos, which I do think he won, but split decision nonetheless. Lackluster fight against Anthony Smith, which is a guy that he should really have put a stamp on that. And it was just a lackluster decision win, where he illegally kneed him in the head. But yeah, Jon Jones has just looked lackluster. He's had kind of Israel Adesanya type fights in his last few title defenses, where it's he'll just do the bare minimum to win every round, and he won't necessarily put a stamp on anything. He will just do the bare minimum to win rounds, and that's what got him in trouble with Thiago Santos with the split decision. But he hasn't really looked overly great since he fought Gustafsson the second time and demolished Gustafsson. So I really I don't know what people see in him at the moment. I think he has definitely declined. I think maybe getting off the PEDs, getting caught so many times, maybe he had to stop doing them. and it's made him decline? I really don't know, but he hasn't looked like phenomenal like the John Jones that won the belt in a while. I think he's older now. You know what I mean? Obviously he's still young because he came in the UFC young, but he's older in the sport. I don't think he's in his prime anymore. I think he's shown in his last few fights that he's not in his prime, and that was 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago where he wasn't looking in his prime. It's been 3 years that he's been inactive when he already was looking like he was exiting his prime. So I just have no idea how he's going to look. And when you think about it as well, he's going to a new weight division. I have no idea how that's going to look. So I just can't soundly pick John Jones. And look, he struggled to take down Dominic Reyes in their fight. Really struggled. Couldn't hold him down even when he got him down. Barely took him down. So against Ciryl Gane, a big dude, can he take him down? I don't know. Maybe he can. But it seemed like Francis Ngannou took Ciryl Gane down with strength and held him down with strength more than technique. And even off Ciryl Gane's mistakes, like that kick he threw that got kind of caught on the shoulder and Ngannou took him down, I just think Ngannou wins. I mean, I just think Ciryl Gane wins. I just think he's been active. He's a good fighter. He'll be bigger. He's a natural heavyweight. I think John Jones is bulking up, and who knows how he'll look. Will his cardio be the same? Will his output be the same? Is he going to look the same at all? How's he going to take the power? You know what I mean? Can he take down a guy like Ciryl Gane who's bigger? Does he have the strength for heavyweight? There's just too many questions. Is he out of his prime even more than when we were seeing him 3 years ago? There's just too many questions around John Jones that just stop me from picking him. So this is more of a kind of a sobering reality video on John Jones than anything. I'm just kind of really talking about John Jones, and I just don't think his return is going to be this big spectacle. I think he may lose. I don't know if Ciryl Gane finishes him, but I think John Jones loses, man. He's looked not great against worse opponents than Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane is very, very good skill-wise. I just, I know John Jones' greatest of all time in a lot of people's opinions. I kind of disagree. I think, he took PEDs, and that kind of almost excludes you, in my opinion. And it was on PEDs for some of his wins. People forget he tested positive after the second DC fight, but people say, oh, he's way better than DC, but he was doping when he was fighting DC. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you can hold him as the greatest of all time, but I know a lot of people do. But yeah, I just think you can't really pick him. I think this is going to be, we're going to see that legend falling, that greatest of all time losing. And I think it's going to be a shock for a lot of people, but yeah, I think Ciryl Gane gets the win. Probably a decision. I don't know if he finishes Jones. As the fight gets picked closer, maybe I'll change my mind, because, obviously, if Jones shows up and looks, like he's re-entered his prime and he looks great at heavyweight and his cardio is great, maybe he wins. I just think there's too many variables that I don't know for me to pick him as the winner. So yeah, that's about it.